What's going on, everybody? We're back doing videos on my YouTube channel. We're going to be doing some podcasts, going to be going over some PLO hands, some real poker talk videos. And today we're going to go over a hand that I played last month at Live at the Bike for my Pot Limit Omaha week that went on. I think it was like mid-December. This is the biggest pot I played throughout the week, 25.50. And let's kind of just get into the hand and take a look at what happens.
But that would be a good lot of things topic in any poker table. How many Bitcoin does the table have combined?
Wow.
Aces for Joey here. Ace, ace, queen, 7. Andrew with queen, queen, 9, 8.
What do you think for this table?
I don't know. I know that Joey has some. I know that Tan has a decent amount from what I heard from him.
All right, so in this hand, we're going to have two pretty important decisions. One really important decision. One decision that, I feel like is pretty standard, but could go two different ways. I open up ace, ace, queen, 7, one nut suit in the hijack, the $200, which is the pot we were using at the time. Andrew makes a lighter 3-bet with 8, very light 3-bet with queen, queen, 8, 9 with one suit. We are 200 big blinds deep. I'm 300 some big blinds deep. Tan flats on the button with king, queen, jack, 8. Tan was a younger Asian guy, liked to mix it up a lot. I think he made his money from poker. He said I think he started playing down in Florida and pretty much just ran it up from there. I really liked playing with him. I thought his style was good and it seemed like he's probably a winning player at poker too. So he decides to flat the king, queen, jack, 8 in position here. And then it comes back to me. I have a decision to 4-bet. I have a decision to call. In the moment, I thought about it for a bit, and now my dynamic with Andrew, I feel like I was playing relatively, wasn't playing too crazy for the most part. I think in a spot like this, I'm not going to be opening up super wide because Tan was just playing a lot of buttons. Andrew was playing a lot of hands as well. We did have a guy in the small blind who was trying to sell purses who, I don't know, I think he's a pretty big sick hustler, and he may have been super using because he didn't lose a hand the entire session. So I might be opening up a little bit wider than normal. But overall, I'm probably not going to be super out of line here. So Andrew decides to 3-bet the queen, queen, 8, 9. He didn't make it a full-size pot. I think if he had aces, the other aces, he'd make it just a full pot. I think when Tan goes ahead and cold calls here, he's going to have a lot of maybe double paired hands, some rundowns, like a king, 5, 6, 7 double suited, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, that sort of hand. Now it comes back to me, 4-bet or call. And honestly, man, I'm not entirely sure, even in retrospect, which play I like the best. And normally when I'm not sure which play I like the best, I like to choose the side of more passiveness. But in the moment, I decided I'm going to 4-bet here. If both of these guys calls, pot's going to be about $7,500. I'm going to have a 1.5x the pot. I'm going to have to pot and pray, basically, on most flops that come down. There's some flops I can check fold, but I think this is a spot in PLO. It's just, I wouldn't say standard, normal, but I'm not really sure. I'm definitely curious to get some feedback from you guys. And honestly, I could go either way with it. In the moment, I did decide to 4-bet here. When we look at the other play, the queen, queen, 8, 9, I think I like to call the queen, queen, 8, 9 a little bit more, but I don't really hate 3-betting it. We are in position. I don't think I'm going to be 4-betting him super light. We didn't really have that aggressive dynamic in play so far. I would like to play hands with the guy who's selling purses and acting a little crazy in the small blind. But, I guess I don't hate it. I don't love it. Whether it's going to be theoretically correct, probably not. But, live poker, deep stack, sometimes you 3-bet, man. I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason for what people do sometimes. In terms of Tan flatting on the button, listen, man, when you're 22 years old and you run like God or you run really well and you got a bunch of money, man, fuck it, go crazy. This is the time to do things like that. And now if you look at just the hot and cold equity pre-flop, king, queen, jack, 8, probably doesn't have, it's not going to be a super bad call in position here. He does have position too. Maybe he thinks we're going to make some incorrect folds. He can represent some, lower board type textures that are going to come out. He can represent that hand, and when he makes a hand, he's probably thinking of a bunch of different things. He's probably just thinking he got king, queen, jack, 8, and he's got the button. He trusts his play. He's going to make a call, and we are deep stack too. So now actually when I do 4-bet here and Andrew folds, he is getting the right price to go ahead and call before the flop here. So yeah, I do decide to go ahead 4-bet and see what happens.
And I would imagine JC's in it.
Just say over 50.
How much do you have, Andrew? 25, $7.
I will say yes.
Yes. You would never know. We'd have to
People
ask
that
them.
have been in poker for a while, someone like Andrew probably has some. I don't know about David. I don't know about Jonathan.
what's it? 600?
I imagine Zach has some. He's friends with Bryce, and Bryce has a bunch of everything, so
Yeah.
it's probably close. But
Andrew 3-bets with the queens,
Mm.
and Joey has aces.
So is Joey 4-bet here? Is that correct?
We can't see yet, but
3K would be a little over 3K would be pot. So if he
but
does
should.
4-bet here,
Yeah, he does.
2,500. The problem is now that when you do that, your hand's pretty face up, especially when it's your first 4-bet, you know. And so that's the only issue here. But he is trying to deny the equity.
But he has position on the 3-better.
Yes.
Tan has position on him, but we don't know if what Tan will do yet.
How much do you have?
Andrew folds his queens.
15,000.
He knows that Joey's aces.
I have an amount that you will not be folding for. This is what I have.
Tan is not folded.
Sweet, sweet.
Just one. Just one. One time.
Get a nice flop.
Oh, that is
And
top.
Tan outflops Joey.
Oh,
Or
top
Joey
2.
does have a gutter.
Top 2 for Tan. Backdoor flush draw.
All right, so Tan goes ahead and makes the call, and pot's $5,675. We got about 12.8K left. Flop comes down, King, Jack, Deuce, Rainbow. Tan loves top 2 pair. I flop the over pair with the gut shot straight draw and the backdoor quad draw and the backdoor Bangkok, aka backdoor and flush draw. Obviously, great flop for Tan. And now here's a spot I talked about with some people with, and when you think about what do we think is ranges, right? So it's going to be some double suited hands, double paired hands, some kings, obviously less jacks, more kings in his range, a lot of rundown type hands. We do block the ace and the queen, takes away some of those ace, queen, jack 10s, and takes away some of the king, queen, jack 10 type hands. But I think you're just going to have a ton of hands. Jack 8, 9, 7, king 8, 9, 7, king 8, 9, 10, ace, king, something, something, double suited, like a bunch of those type of hands. So now, one of my friends suggested maybe I could bet fold smaller here, but when I just ran through the math and I ran through the type of ranges that he could have, you know, I mean, that's an option, I suppose, but I don't really want to bet small and have a hand that has getting the right price, like a Jack 8, 9, 7, or even some sort of gut shot with 2 back doors. Rather just fold those hands out and take it down. Now, there is some merit maybe to bet folding. Once again, I don't think so. I think we're just getting the right price, and we can get it in against some hands that we're getting in really good against. If we bet small, he happens to jam a hand like a queen 10, jack queen or something like that. We do block the queens, or queen jack 10 10 or queen jack, something like that. We're going to get it in very, very, very good. So I don't think we can ever really bet fold. I don't necessarily think we need to be, I mean, when you talk about like a balanced strategy, I mean, maybe we can bet smaller with our pocket kings, with open a straight draw, something like that. Maybe king, jack, queen 10, maybe ace, king, queen 10, something like that. But I think with this specific hand, it's probably just the spot where we pot and pray. And then this is kind of a spot you get yourself into when you 4-bet aces pre-flop here, is a lot of times you're just potting and you're praying. So for me here, I go ahead and I'm going to decide what to do, see if I did pot, looking back at it.
Joey with aces and a gutter. This is not looking good for Joey here. He's still 40% though. He's still got a chance. It's a really weird spot here for Joey.
He probably just have to go with it given how many hands Tan plays. I mean, Tan can whiff a lot of his hands. He could have, 7, 8, 9, 10, or lower rundowns.
And they get it all in.
So I do go ahead and I tank for a little while. I was definitely thinking about what size I should go with there. Ultimately, I did just decide to go with pot. He pretty much put it all in. I said FML, and Tan's a run it once guy, so we're going to run it one time. And now at this point in time, I'm thinking, man, if I win this hand, I got a huge stack, 30K stack, buy-in 10K, 2550, first 2550 I played ever on stream. So, that's probably played into my decision to 4-bet 2. I really kind of wanted, let's try to run it up here. Let's try to get a big stack. Let's try to maybe get 50K, 100K. Who really knows, man? I'm looking to definitely go for the glory in this session. I go for the glory. We get it all in. We run it once, and let's see what happens.
$31,000 pot, and they're going to run it once, and that is a boat for Tan, the nuts. And that is bad news for Joey Ingram.
Nice hand. Definitely covered, right?
17-5, 17.
I already got the
Definitely covered. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to
forgot all these fucking, I don't know.
So the $31,000 pot does not go our way. We're felted. We rebuy back in. I think at this moment, probably I wasn't really that tilted about it. Kind of is what it is. This is how Pot Limit Omaha goes. I was kind of rethinking my 4-bet decision. And even in retrospect, like I said, not sure which decision I like more than the other. I could honestly go either way. I probably maybe flat in retrospect and maybe play it, maybe play it a little bit more, less variance, I guess, in this spot. I don't think I don't know, man. I don't know if that's just. I think I do like 4-betting too. I like both options, to be honest with you. Depends how high I really want to rent my variance up. Obviously, playing the 20 by 50. I don't know, man. But if I do flat, hypothetically, let's talk it out. If I do flat, flop is so 666, about what, $1,900 in the pot. Flop comes down King Jack Deuce. I'm gonna check. Andrew probably gonna bet. Tan's gonna raise. I could fold if Andrew bet checks. And Tan bets, probably going to bet pot. I'm probably going to check call. And then turn comes the king, I'm going to check fold. So in retrospect, being very results orientated, I wouldn't have lost that much. But, if the board comes down king, jack, deuce, and then we check call, and then the river comes down, the turn comes like a 7, I think we just got to go with it because he could have worse hands. He could have a king with a straight draw type hand. There's just hands that we're going to have in really bad shape on the turn on like a 7. So ultimately, I think we lose most of our money here. Unless it goes bet and then raise, then we can maybe fold our hand. That's the way we don't lose the money here. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be back with more hands in the session, some more videos, and it's good to be back, guys. So much love, everybody out there. Peace out. Adios. Take care.